Did you know? The Galaxy Rasbora breeding is very easy, but the egg hatching rate will depend on multiple limited factors, and all may face that difficulty. Following this video, you will be a master in breeding celestial pearl danios with additional knowledge about the behaviors of this amazing tiny fish. Here we will talk about the behaviors of this amazing fish, the sex differentiation of the Galaxy Rasbora, its habitat, tank requirements for Galaxy Rasbora, tank mates for them, the diet of this fish, breeding methods, and how to rear the fry. Please try to grab all the details of this video. First, we will roll into our intro. The celestial pearl danio is a freshwater fish in the danio family. These fish have dark blue bodies with white or yellow dots resembling a galaxy. Celestial pearl danios are active and peaceful. The species is popular among aquarists due to its easy temperament and unique pattern. They are native to freshwater ponds that are surrounded by rice paddies and grassland. These fish are commonly found in the Salween River Basin area of the Shan Plateau in Myanmar. The ponds, with an average depth of 12 inches, have slow-moving clear water. Many aquatic plants and rocks provide shelter, food, and spawning grounds for the danios. This fish species is common in the wild, though it almost became extinct due to its popularity with aquarists. Breeding in captivity has allowed the species to flourish in the wild. Adult celestial pearl danios grow up to 1 inch in length. These fish live between 3 and 5 years in captivity when well cared for. Celestial pearl danios prefer to live in shoals of 10 or more. Keep more females than males in a tank because males will fight over the females. In my tank setup, I keep 7 females and 3 mature males with 2 other juveniles. You can see they are doing well with these kinds of groups. This species hangs out in the bottom of a tank where it hides among rocks and aquatic plants. During feeding time, the fish swim to the middle and top of the tank. When we talk about the sex differences of these amazing fish, males are thinner and brighter, with a deep blue body and pearlescent spots all over the flanks. These dots are sometimes arranged in rows or galaxy patterns. Males have a red stripe lined with black that runs through the middle of the fish's nearly translucent dorsal fin. Males also have a red belly, and dominant males have a red stripe on their backs. Female celestial pearl danios aren't as brightly colored and have less bright pearly dots. On females, instead of red dorsal, pelvic, and caudal fins, these fins are orange and the anal fin is translucent. Some females may have an orange belly, while others have a golden belly. When they are ready to spawn, the females develop a black spot in front of their caudal fin, and the belly area becomes plumper. Also, when females get mature, they have rounded bellies. In my tank, you can see the alpha male and other females are in a group, and the prominent reddish colors of the alpha male are amazing. It is very important to know about the habitat and tank requirements of the Galaxy Rasbora. In their natural habitat, these fish like to hide among the rocks and plants, so make sure tanks contain heavy vegetation. You can add foreground and mid-ground plants, then put some driftwood as hiding places. Driftwood also adds some tannins to the water and adds a more natural look to your aquarium. In my tank, I used Vallisneria spiralis and some cryptocorin varieties. The bottom layer consists of sand. Some river stones are also there with driftwood. Don't put a strong pump or current generator in the tank. In my tank, it has a small filter and it has very slow movements of the water, but is well aerated. These fish are omnivores, so feed them a combination of dry fish flakes, pellets, and freeze-dried or live invertebrates. I used decapsulated brine shrimp most of the time, and dry fish food was also used as a mixed diet. A 10-gallon tank is ideal for a shoal of 5 to 7 celestial pearl danios. This tank size ensures that there's plenty of space for the active fish to swim. This will help to keep them all healthy and active. Keep an eye on how many males you have if your tank is small. In a small tank with few hiding places, less dominant males will be subject to attacks from other males. To keep all individuals safe, ensure that you have plenty of room for fish to live and keep a healthy ratio of males to females. Including plants will give them a natural feel and also give the males a good hiding place for when they start competing for females. The species needs cool, clean water with low salt and mineral levels to mimic the fish's natural habitat. The tank water should be pH neutral. In my tank, I maintain 22 Celsius of temperature. It may fluctuate between 20 to 25 Celsius. pH should be maintained as slightly acidic. My tank is around 6.5. Strong filtration via canisters or power filters ensures there aren't too many pollutants in the water. Block the inlet tubes of the filtration system with sponges to prevent fish from getting sucked into a tube. And outer flow should not be too fast. The main concern is good filtration without much disturbance to the water column. Lighting should be moderately bright, so use bright LED lights in dim mode. Keep the tank with aquatic plants like Elodia, Egeria, Java fern, Bacopa, and Rotala. Add floating plants like water lettuce or frogbit to provide top cover. The fish will snack on these plants, and the vegetation provides hiding space for the shy celestial pearl danios. Decorate the tank with rocks to increase hiding spots. Adding driftwood and leaf litter to the tank releases tannins into the water, which can be maintained as a healthy water column for the fish. For easy maintenance, choose a sandy substrate or use smooth gravel to avoid injuring the fish. The celestial pearl danio needs swimming space and lots of hiding places in a small tank. Ensure the water requirements mimic this species' cold, freshwater habitat. Regarding tankmates of celestial pearl danio, because they are tiny and peaceful, house them with other peaceful fish such as emerald rasbora, neon tetra, cardinal tetra, chili rasbora, ember tetra, and pencil tetra. Avoid large, aggressive fish that can eat this species, such as large cichlid varieties. Diet and feeding play a main role in keeping Galaxy Rasbora. Due to their small body size, not much energy can be stored in the body. Continuous skipping meals may result in emaciated fish with poor health. Galaxy Rasboras are omnivorous. That is, they feed on both plants and other animals such as invertebrates. In their natural habitat, they are always looking for food. They eat everything from algae to shrimp. You can feed them tiny live foods such as microworms, brine shrimp, and daphnia. Feeding them small crumbled fish flakes, tetra mini granules, and live tubifex will also prove a good nourishment source. Make sure that you are providing them with constant food in the form of pellets or flakes. Galaxy Rasboras are shy, so feeding them might be difficult initially. They do not come up to the tank surface. To overcome this, get sinking pellet food for them. Also, make sure that other tankmates or top swimmers are not eating their food before reaching the bottom-dwelling Galaxy Rasboras. As a treat, you can also feed them white worms, brine shrimp, etc. To give them a balanced diet, keep changing up their food items. In captivity, feed this species a varied diet, 2 to 3 times a day. To prevent overfeeding and poor water quality, remove any uneaten food after 5 minutes. I used to feed them 2 to 3 times per day. Usually, I use decapsulated brine shrimps and also mosquito larvae. It also acts as a natural color enhancement for the fish due to its high protein content. Breeding these amazing fish is the most interesting and important part of this video. Celestial pearl danios are one of the easiest fishes to breed. Once the fish are sexually mature, at 3 or 4 months of age, males and females try to breed daily. The female of the Galaxy Rasbora is known to scatter eggs. Set up a breeding tank with java moss or a spawning mop, aged water, aquatic plants, and an air-powered sponge filter with dimmed light. Add a male and female pair, or a male and a few females to the breeding tank. Daily feed them with a high-protein diet like decapsulated brine shrimp or mosquito larvae. When the female is ready to spawn, it develops a dark spot near the caudal fin. You can trigger the spawning by doing 30% of the water change of the breeding tank. Next day, they will breed for you. They will prefer moss or your breeding mop for spawning. The male chases the female toward the moss or mop, and following a small dance, the male will press the female onto the moss. At that time, female releases eggs, and at the same time, the male releases sperm, and the eggs are fertilized. Following laying eggs, both are searching eggs. For eating somehow, they will eat some amount of eggs. After the female lays her eggs, you can identify it by their behavioral change. It would change from chasing to normal. At that time, you should remove the adult fish from the breeding tank. In my setup, I use another method to breed them. The most important part is collecting the eggs before they eat eggs. In my tank, I prefer to put a Pelea moss cup for breeding and keep the tank temperature 19 Celsius with minimal light, and feed them 3 times per day with a high-protein diet of brine shrimp. With that settings, they may lay eggs every day. They use several hiding places for spawning in my tank, however most of the eggs are laid in the moss cup. Every day at 10 a.m., I take the moss cup outside, collect the eggs, and put all eggs into the hatching tank. I use this method for 3-spotted Rasbora breeding too. I will put the link to the 3-spotted Rasbora breeding guide video in the description. If you are interested, please go and see it. It also has many tips that you can use for breeding Galaxy Rasbora. Eggs will hatch within 2 to 4 days. Please keep in mind that the maximum hatching rate will occur at 18 to 19 Celsius. It is the main factor that leads to the increased hatching rate of almost all eggs. I maintain 19 Celsius temperature in that tank. On first day of the hatching process, they will hang on the glass or any surface, almost like more other Rasbora species. Following first day of hatching, they will start to swim. On the first day of the swim, you should give them enough food without leading the tank into ammonia spikes. Here we are using Serendib Aquatics Prime Egg Yolk Solution for first 3 days of feeding of Galaxy Rasbora. If you are interested in seeing that video of how to make the egg yolk solution, please watch that video. I will put the link in the description. Following 3 to 4 days after free swim, we can start them on a mixed diet. Then feed the fry micro foods and introduce newly hatched brine shrimp, moina, daphnia, grindal worms, finely ground freeze-dried krill, and frozen cyclops as a balanced diet. The important thing is that you should feed them in small quantities at a time. Daily, you should feed them several times, a maximum of 3 to 4 times per day. Please do daily water change of 10% in the fry tank when you start feeding them. And fry tank is a tank that have a higher density of fish in small volume. Therefore, you should use a sponge filter with good aeration. Otherwise, fry will suffer from hypoxia. Here in my tank, I use a sponge filter and a high density of plants and driftwood to make a good balanced environment for the fish. That kind of stable tank setup rarely goes toward an ammonia spike. I use some shrimps and snails to eat the excessive food and debris in the tank. It also helps to maintain good water chemistry. Following 2 weeks, I put my all-fish fry in the growing tank. In that tank, I have Galaxy Rasbora, 3-spotted Rasbora, and Medica rice fish. All are thriving in the same tank until they pass the juvenile stage. Here you can see the community of my growing tank. Some Galaxy are starting to change to their real colors. It has much more algae but with crystal clear water with 0 ammonia. Following another 2 weeks, I will put all of them into my large growing tank to increase the growth rate, and it is very easy to feed in large tank with other fish. You can see these fish in my large growing tank. Some have reached adult size with adult colors. With more space with good aeration, they will grow faster. With all this information, you will make a good breeding colony of Galaxy Rasboras. Our ultimate target is to share our knowledge for your success and make a good pathway to breeding Galaxy Rasbora in an effective manner, which will produce much more fry. This is the whole story behind the successful breeding of the celestial pearl danio, or Galaxy Rasbora fish. I already highlighted the egg collection method I use for better results. It is the take-home message in this guide. Try to collect many more eggs successfully with a good fertilizing rate, and use 18 to 19 Celsius of temperature in egg hatching tank is the ultimate target for increasing the number of fries. Following this process, your Galaxy Rasbora fish colony will grow faster than before. Thank you for joining Serendib Aquatics. If you have any questions or any comments, feel free to comment below. I'll try to reply to all comments. You can share your knowledge with others about celestial pearl danio fish by commenting on your experiences. Serendib Aquatics will see you in our next fish breeding video as soon as possible. Hang on with Serendib Aquatics. If you think this will help you with your aquarium journey, please be kind enough to subscribe Serendib Aquatic YouTube channel for new updates.